Hello, welcome everyone. So, maybe I'll just start right off, and if anyone else is joining, I'll just accept them in the midst. Yes, hello everyone. A warm welcome to our presentation of 3-spin learning and how you are able to create 360-degree VR and AR trainings without the need to code. Today we're going to answer things like how does our platform work, and is it really easy to use? And we hopefully answer that by creating an example. But first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Noel. I'm going to be one of your hosts today. I've been at 3-spin Learning for 1.5 years now, and we have different people working with us. And one of them is Tom, who's going to help me today. So, Tom, can you please introduce yourself as well?
Thank you, Noel. A warm welcome also from my side. My name is Tom, and I will show you that it's really easy to build really cool experiences without coding in like 5 to 10 minutes. And I will show you in some moments. I joined 3-spin like 8 years ago, and I'm responsible for customer success. So this is the role I'm playing now. Show you how to put things together with our platform. Thank you, Noel.
Yes. But before we'll start right away, I'll show you the today's points that we'll cover and give you some organizational points for this demonstration. So the content today will be who is 3-spin Learning, so are we, where do we come from, and what were the challenges that we saw in the area of especially virtual reality and augmented reality training creation. Because that's interesting to know, to have a little on our background and see and hear what this is about. After that, we are going to jump right into a live demo. And after that, we are going to answer all of your questions. So please ask your questions in the chat and we'll go over them once the demo is over. For now, you can just relax, lie back. You can mute yourself. You can also turn off your video if you want to. And if you have any questions while the presentation, just answer them via chat. So, who is 3-spin Learning? So, we are a company that has been founded out of an agency because we did quite a lot with virtual reality and especially with virtual reality in training. And we are, just a startup that has been created out of that agency where we try to make the creation of VR and AR training as easy as possible. And we also already knew that there are, at the beginning of using these kinds of technologies, there are a lot of advantages that you may see. So it makes a lot of trainings a lot easier. The learning success is far greater because it's more involvement inside of a VR training to their learning content, and it's also measurable. So we saw a lot of those, a lot of those advantages, but there are also some disadvantages that we saw at the beginning a couple of years ago when we founded 3-spin Learning that we're also going to cover now. So we have created a platform. So this means a platform, and its own ecosystem where you can create your own trainings. Why did we do that? Because there were three main challenges when wanting to implement this technology. The first is that it's quite expensive to create a VR training because usually they had to be individually programmed inside of Unity or Unreal or other programs. And that was quite expensive because programmers were needed to create those kinds of programs individual, and this took a lot of time and effort for maybe also some general applications that are needed to be reused and could have been reused, and that's why this was quite expensive. As well, another big challenge is once you created, for example, a virtual reality training, it was quite hard to customize because you always had to get back to the agency, and you had to pay the agency to customize your training. And after that, that was something a lot of companies would not like to afford. Because you obviously need to make changes to your training according to new regulations or just new things in general. Maybe there was something that didn't feel right, and therefore you need to customize. And the last point, it was initially really hard to scale. So this is something that we saw right off because, as you may know, there's a lot of new devices coming out each year. So Apple has just introduced a new headset. There's new Meta Quest. There's a new Meta Quest coming out. There's new Pico Neo, etc., etc. And if you want to be up to date, you need to update your training each time for each device. And that was something, that was quite hard to do. So those were the three main challenges. And we've created an authoring tool which makes it easy like PowerPoint to create with lots of out of the box functions that we're going to cover, and the global cloud distribution to also make it scalable. And this has been confirmed by a lot of our companies and partners that are working with us and that are using the trainings to create VR and 360-degree experiences themselves. But just before I talk so much about the advantages, let us show you how this program works by Tom creating a small scenario with you guys.
Thanks, Noel. I don't know if anybody of you already has some experience in creating like VR or augmented reality trainings and know some of the obstacles Noel was talking about. I'm right now going to jump into it and show you how it can be easy to build immersive experiences. So just to get rid of the Zoom window. Now you can see my browser window. It's pretty important to understand that the platform has two main components. The one is the browser-based content management system. We call it the web management system. So it's on a server, it's accessible from anywhere, and it's used to manage your assets, manage your users, and simply put together your learning experiences. The second component of the platform is the app. It's called FreeSpin Learning app, and that's an app you can install on all the VR devices that are out there in the world and also on your desktop PC. And with the upcoming release coming next week, we will be also able to play and execute experiences browser-based, so without installing any app or stuff like that. So how does it work now, and why those two components? We built the browser-based, server-based management system so that it's accessible from anywhere. And it's used, as I said, for configuration and management of stuff. So if you want to build a learning experience, you just create a new unit. And the sample I will be building with you is a scenario everybody knows, like an evacuation training or escape room game. So escape from here. We give it a title. You can give it a description. You can upload a preview image. I'm skipping that to be a bit faster. You can choose if you want it to be virtual reality, so real-time 3D or 360, a panoramic-based experience, or augmented reality. Those are like interoperable or compatible with each other. So you can easily switch one thing you've built for virtual reality, just turn it to work with HoloLens by switching to augmented reality. So everything is compatible with each other. When you're inside such an experience, it's arranged in scenes, just like a movie. So what do we need when we want to escape from somewhere? We need that somewhere. We need a room where we are kind of in danger. So I rename that scene and call it in danger, just for me to know where I am. Then we need a second place to be where we are in safety. I'm just adding a new scene by hitting the plus icon and also rename that scene to here we are in safety. Now we need environments. We have the structural setup for our experience, but now we need places to be. That's why I add 3D models here. You can upload your own 3D models or upload bought 3D models from any 3D model store like Sketchfab or 3D Warehouse. It's all compatible. Or you can build your own if you want, for sure. So now I'm adding a hotel room. Let's escape from a hotel room today. So this is a little hotel room. And in the second scene, we're going to be outside. And I'm going to use a 360-degree panoramic image for my second scene so that you can see the difference and that you can easily combine virtual reality and 360 panoramic things. I'm now going to save this unit. And now, just to give you a glance of what's happening, I'm going to switch to my quest and take you with me in what I'm doing here. Should turn it on. That would work way better. Sorry, I have to get my screen sharing running. Doesn't want to right now. Huh. Kind of leaving me. 10 minutes ago, I was practicing with Noel. Everything worked well.
It's always like this when you want to show something, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
In Germany, we call that the Vorführ effect. Translate that, Noel. Ah, doesn't want to. Okay, then let's do something else. I switched to the desktop version of the app. I like to work with a Quest much more because it's easier. You have like two controllers, you can move freely, but you also have the desktop version of the app and works pretty much the same.
Yeah, so
So
what
this is how you log in to the system. I'm logging in with webinar. Do you see my screen still? Is that
yes.
working? Okay. Look away now. When you log in for the first time, it shows you some explanatory videos. I'll skip that for now. And now we can see all the units we saw in the browser. Now we're in the app. I'm just downloading the thing I've built. And as an author, I can switch to edit mode, which I will do now. So here we are in our first environment, which is the hotel room. Can look around just like in a video game. And when I change to the second scene, where I just added the panoramic environment, you can see that we're like sitting on a huge parking lot. So that's basically our two scenes. And now I will save. Better safe than sorry. I didn't change anything, but I try to save all the time because I forget to save things on a regular basis, and then it's not good. Okay, back to the browser. You just saw the two scenes, the two environments. Now we're going to add some content and interactivity because we need to configure a way to get from one scene to the other for our users. That could be done via a hotspot. A hotspot is just something like a button, a thing you can click or press. We can give that hotspot a label, exit or click to exit. And now it's just there, it's a hotspot, but we still need to configure it. And that's easily done. When you have some experience in web-based trainings, I think you know the principle. Interaction is enabled by triggers. You need a trigger to start the interactive process. There's several triggers you can use. The most easy one is clicking things, but you could also use a user looking at things as a triggering moment, or a user approaching things or getting away. But let's keep it simple. For now, we just use the simple click trigger. So now our hotspot knows that it's clickable. What it does not know is what should I do when I'm clicked? And this I'm going to tell him via actions. The action we do need here is change to our second scene. So I add the action, change scene, and now I have to link it to my second scene. And I'm pretty much done. Now switching back. Did I save, by the way? Yeah, I did it. Okay. So now back inside the app. I synchronize. It's downloading pretty fast now because it loads only the differences, because anything I already added is cached in the local store, which makes all the experiences ready for offline usage. So once you downloaded it, you don't need any internet connection. You can still execute things. Now you see my app panel has slightly changed. because I see here is my hotspot. By the fact that the tile is white, I can see that it's not positioned yet. And positioning is what I want to do now. And I do position stuff by just dragging it out of this panel and placing it in my world. And place it in front of the door. Now, also my mouse is leaving me. I should just throw my computer away. Sorry for that. Um, okay, then let's do it step by step. Place it kind of in front of the door. And there we go. Now we have a door, a hotspot we can click on to exit. That's all I have to do with editing. And now I can start right away and test it by pressing the play button, enabling me to enter the mode a regular user would see and experience this demo. So looking around here, I'm now in executing mode. Head towards the door. Click on that hotspot. That will take me to the second scene. And now I'm in safety, successfully. Now I'm leaving the tryout mode, which takes me back to edit mode. I'm leaving that one also. I'm going to save my changes and switch back to the browser. Basically, we're done right now. So we have like 2 rooms. And we added interaction to go from one room to another, but we want to have it a bit more complicated maybe, or make it a little bit harder for our users. And this is why I will hide the door with boxes. So I'll just add a 3-dimensional model of a cardboard box looking like this. And I'll place it right in front of the button so that the user will have to search for the door and search for the button by getting rid of those boxes. I can configure those boxes to make them movable. You don't want anything to be movable. Imagine you have a room with some furniture, maybe some boards or something. You don't want the user to put all this away. That's why we added this movable behavior so that you control which things are movable and which are not. Same thing with physics behavior. You can determine if things are subject to the physical simulation. We want to do that because that box should feel natural, falling down on the floor, being movable. So saving again. I think my problem is the USB hub. I think my USB hub crashed because I cannot use my mouse and I cannot use my Quest. But that doesn't keep me from showing you what can be done, even without a mouse and without VR goggles. Entering edit mode again. And now basically it's the same thing. I have to position my cardboard box in the virtual space. So I'm just getting rid of the menu so that I can take a look around, and navigate and walk around. And just position this box here. Can scale it so that it's a little bit larger. And this is why I like to use Quest because, or a Pico device, because when you have like two controllers, you can scale, rotate, and position all in one step. On the computer, I only have one mouse or no mouse at all, and that makes things a bit harder. So, but I kind of managed to position that box here. Let's try how it's looking in play mode. Okay, there's my box. I can take it, I can carry it around, and drop it. And it kind of hides my exit button. So that's working fine for now. I'm leaving play mode, which takes me back to edit mode. I'm also leaving the edit mode, saving my changes. Going back to the browser. And now, as you saw, one box is not enough to really cover that door. So I'll just duplicate that box. And now I have two boxes with the same configuration, but they will also be on the same position. They will kind of be stuck inside each other. So I can correct the position of my second box to manually. I can also access all the positioning data from within the browser, put it like half a meter higher. And now I should be fine. Loading that again. And now I'm going to show you what the user sees. So I'm not going to edit mode because there's nothing new to add. Just enter the preview mode. So I'm directly into the play mode. And well, there are my two boxes. And I kind of have to carry them away to reach my exit hotspot and get myself evacuated. Last thing I want to show you. So what we covered right now is like scenes, environments, interactive objects, three-dimensional objects, and configuring those. Just to have it mentioned, you don't need hotspots to use interactivity. You can add any trigger to any kind of object, so you're really free in how you want to build things. Last thing I want to show you, because that's always a big topic, guiding the user, letting them know what they should do. And we have a smart little helper robot you can add to your trainings, and you can configure him to assist your users by telling them what they should do, by giving them hints. They can ask him, what should I do next? We are going to add artificial intelligence so that you can really talk to him. But for now, we just let him tell us what to do. You can create text to speech on the fly. And now he tells us, he will appear and tell us, you're in danger. Get out of here. Search for the exit. Now.
You're in danger. Get out of here. Search for the...
Okay, sounds okay. So I will create my text-to-speech asset. And in the second scene, when I managed it, I can also use the trigger when activated, which means when the scene is loaded, and I can congratulate our users just by creating the next text-to-speech. Congrats, you made it. You can this exercise. Okay, and now let's have a look how that works. This time I didn't save. Haha. Can determine by if this save button is black or if it's gray. So, and just in case you mess anything up, you have a version history and you can always revert to things you have done before. So switching back to the app, synchronizing, that makes it connect to the server, fetching the newest version. And just have a look.
You're in danger. Get out of here. Search for the exit. Now.
Okay. Mm-hmm. As soon as this robot is talking to me and telling me that I'm in danger, I'm really feeling kind of stressed. So try to get rid of my boxes and try to make my way around here. That's it.
Congrats. You made it. You can leave this exercise now.
Okay, and that's pretty much it. That's how you build really interactive and immersive stuff in a short period of time. Yeah, and I hope you find it kind of as easy as I do. Just one more word on how you get your learning experiences delivered to your users. You can do that all via the same system. So all your clients, your customers, your users would need only that one app, the 3Spin Learning app. Install that app on their devices, and you can ship all your content via our app. So they don't need to install additional stuff or a lot of apps or an app for each training you build. They just need this one app, the same one you are using, but they will have like other user roles. They have learner roles, so they cannot edit, they can just execute. To make such a unit accessible for users, you have to release it. Once it's released, you can put it into a course. And a course is really the same thing as in a school or in a university. Course are kinds of containers for learning content. So I create a new course. Same thing here. You can add like preview images, making it look nicer. And then you can add learning units to your courses. You can only add units that are released, and they will stay in the course in their released state. So in the background, you can prepare for the next update. You can like iterate and evaluate your learning content once it's ready for the next stage of release, you hit the release button, and only then it will go live into your course. So saving that course. Now I have a course here, and deploying that course to the users works in the same way as in a university. Users have to enroll. You can do that manually. Enroll any user you like. And that's it. The next time a user would log into the app, he would see, there's a new course for you. Please do it. You can also link all the content to existing learning management systems if you have things like that in use. And then you can directly add learning modules to your learning curriculum in your learning management system, and users can access our training from your learning management system directly. So yeah, that's about it. My little demo here. Little more difficult than, than I planned because without a working quest and without a mouse, but nevertheless, it was working. So now I think, well, we're still good in time, and we have enough time for all of your questions in case there are some.
Yes. Thanks a lot, Tom. And also, there are some things I want to emphasize. So, first of all, thank you very much for the presentation. I found it really interesting each time you present something, that even though you explain everything and every function, you create a training that works really fast. So I think it was like 25 minutes and you've created a small training. I think that's very insightful and speaks for itself. Let me just add a couple of other words before we get into your questions, and we'll cover them in a minute. But yeah, a point I really want to emphasize is that we have like these functionalities that you can also integrate your learning management system inside of 3Spin Learning. So why do we do that? And the simple answer is that we see virtual reality and augmented reality as a part of learning that we will add over time. So this will be a learning technology that makes sense to use. And therefore, we don't want to like get rid of physical training or other training formats or classroom training. We just want to add virtual reality as a useful tool to, yeah, create the for you to be able to create trainings yourself. Also, some things on the platform. So some general things. So as you've seen, this is a cloud-based solution. So this means when you click on the little synchronize button, like Tom just did, it will synchronize the training and you don't have to manually update the app. This makes it really easy to use, but they're made because because of this way or this solution, this cloud-based solution, you might think, oh, that's something that is unsafe because there's a cloud solution. I'll work at a company who has very high IT compliance standards, or I work for a company who has very high IT compliant standards. I can assure you that we will fulfill them. So we have like a lot of pharmaceutical companies, a lot of companies working with us who have really high IT compliance standards. And yes, we are making sure that none of your data will get lost in the process, and have done thousands of tests to do so. Yeah, and as you've seen, there's also the point on this slide where it says efficient and easy creation, but I don't really want to talk a lot about this because I think results speak for themselves, and I think, Tom, you did a great job creating such a training in this short amount of time. Yeah, and these are the things I wanted to add for now, and let's have a look at your questions and answer them. Shall we, Tom?
Yeah, Yeah,
Great.
just turning to switch on my video. So, but I think my camera is broken now too. I don't know. Please write an email to my boss. Everybody, Tom needs a new computer.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just trying to answer with my voice as good as I can. And Marlies, your question is there any templates that I can use? Yes, kind of yes. So we ship a set of sample trainings. You can have a look into how things are built, and you can use those as templates. When you like obtain a license, you can book an onboarding, which is like 3 workshops with myself or one of my colleagues. And in those workshops, we will cover your needs and build a lot of templates for what you aim at with your learning experiences. And I didn't mention that in my demo, you can build your own template. So if you build a configuration of things that are working well for you, you can just copy and paste them to the next learning unit or to the next course. So you can copy paste anything from anywhere to anywhere. And that makes it easy for you to use templates, use good samples from other authors, and build your own set of templates in the end of the day. Does that answer your question? I think you can feel free to unmute now and just...
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
Michael, you work as a training consultant for manufacturing companies. Can I use your platform to create trainings for my clients? Absolutely.
Yes.
Noel,
So, yeah.
could you
So
explain our partner model?
so exactly. Yeah, we know that there is that some companies don't have the time or resources or just simply don't want to use that time to create virtual reality trainings. You can certainly come back to us. We will provide you with a onboarding training, and you can create trainings yourself using our platform, and you don't have to pay upfront for the license, and can just create the trainings to your liking until they fit your standards, and then sell them to your customers. And then he's the one, or the company is the one who would need to purchase a license. So that is pretty much our main way of doing these kinds of things. I'd say that we talk about individually about a solution, so I get to know you better and your case, and we can work out something that might be easy to do for you. Yeah. Thanks a lot. There were also some other questions while you were presenting, Tom, that I already answered.
Wait a second, Noel.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry to interrupt you, but Michael, does that answer your question? Is that what you meant? At least we are Germans. We are not native English speakers, so we're doing our best just to make sure that what we said just answered your question. Could you give us a thumb or something? Yes, it does. Okay. Thank you very much. Sorry, Noel. But
That's all right. It's good to get feedback. Yeah, so what I was saying, there were some other questions while you were presenting that I answered in the chat, but I think we can get further into detail with those questions, right? So the first question was, what 3D formats are we supporting? Tom, can you answer that question?
Sure. Do you want the long one or the short one? I tried to find something in the middle.
Yeah,
so,
perfect.
The platform is built on the Unity engine. And the 3D format we use internally is the GLTF, or the binary form, the GLB, which is the market standard for three-dimensional streaming data. It's pretty fast. It's an open source standard, so you can produce those kind of files with all of the leading 3D modeling tools. Internally, we do use Blender, which is a really good tool because it's open source, it's free to use. But it's full featured, like 3D Studio Max or Maya or Cinema 4D. 4D. We internally are using Blender actually, and you can also use Blender to convert from one format to another. As I mentioned, internally, we rely on that GLTF format. And you can also convert 3D models online. We implemented a model converter, and it will be available next week when it goes live. And then you can just drag and drop any standard 3D model format like FBX or OBJ. Just drag and drop it from your desktop into the browser, and it will try to convert it into GLB for you and be available as an asset. We also are step by step adding 3D store support. So maybe you know Sketchfab. That's a pretty famous online store for 3D models, and you can get 3D models through our platform right from Sketchfab. So you can browse the Sketchfab store, say, I want this in this model, and just import it. So yeah, that was the kind of long version of the answer. You can use anything, convert it to GLB by yourself or with the help of our platform, upload it, use it.
Yes. Perfect. And there has also been the next question on whether the helper can speak German. Maybe you can touch on that. And also, you mentioned that in your presentation, but very briefly touch on the subject of AI using the helper.
Yeah. So as of now, the helper can speak French, German, and English in a male and female voice. We may add other languages. That's not a big deal. And from the next version, you can also, we added some AI in the background. So you can provide the helper with knowledge about your company, about your training. And then the user can just talk to the helper, ask any question, and the helper will then try to find the right answer based on the knowledge you provided him with. So no need to do text-to-speech things in advance, because it then will be able to talk by itself.
You can also say,
Question answered?
yeah, I think this was a while
Okay.
ago.
I have a question concerning the helper, because we have also participants in our courses which where their mother tongue isn't German. Means they have some difficulties to understand and to answer and so on. Is it possible for the helper to give them a feedback about their German competences or to correct something? Is this possible?
We would have to think about that, because if I got it right, your use case is about like understanding grammar, evaluating if the grammar, the
Yeah.
spelling is correct, and then giving feedback, just like a German teacher.
Yeah, and also concerning the lexic from biology or something like this, not only normal German, but also special German, I would say, concerning biology and or other contents.
Okay, then I would say kind of in between no and yes. It's not like out of the box that you could tell him, yeah, be my teacher, please correct if I'm spelling something wrong. You would have to provide him with that knowledge and build like a training scenario which covers or models that use case. But you could do that. You could build like a thesaurus, like a lexicon full of words, and maybe based on text plates the user could look at, or the user could click, and then the helper could come and say, it's spoken like that, it's spelled like that, and the genitive is like that. So kind of yes, but you would have to do some authoring to make that happen.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we can also try to find a solution when talking about that. Tom was just mentioning that there are a couple of options of handling such a case. Yeah, but it is in some way, it is possible in some ways, yeah.
Yeah, maybe if there's no more questions, so feel free to just speak out loud if you have anything that would like interest you, and we'll be glad to answer that. As long as nobody else is talking, Noel and me will be talking. Maybe tell you that you can control or kind of have influence on how our platform is developing, because we are developing in an agile way. Internally, we are using the Scrum model. Don't know if you know that, but it's kind of agile development. So we're putting a lot of releases 3 or 4 times a year. And it's really important to stay in touch with our customers, with our clients, because if you miss a feature, or if you want a feature, just like a grammar spelling German teacher feature, or something like that, you can just post that wish to our support, and we'll write a feature request ticket into our backlog. And now there's a lot of customers, as you might imagine, and people come up with the same ideas. So make authoring easier, bring text-to-speech was such an example. A lot of people wanted to have that text-to-speech feature, and they voted for it, and the ticket got more and more important in our backlog, and then it was so important that the feature was implemented. And that's that's just the way how you as our customers can kind of work with us and streamline the whole platform to your needs. And we also offer assistance in building stuff, so you can have just an onboarding and build your own experiences, but we can also help you. You can like book like premium support, so that you can call me or one of my colleagues, or you can book a package of like 2 days of authoring, or you can book a package of building or customizing 3D models, or you can have your trainings created by us or in assistance with you, so everything is possible.
Or before you decide to make a purchase, you can also test out our software for free for 60 days, just to, so you can test out all the functionalities that we were talking about. I'd recommend doing that next week when we have the new release with AI, 3D, etc., that you then can have a deeper look inside of that and just test it out, and then we'll move on with the next steps that Thomas just mentioned.